Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Truly appreciate it. So many channels you could be watching, but you're watching mine. There's something that I noticed while I was in Bacala the other day. It's been right up underneath my nose. I just never paid any attention. But it seems like the prettiest women in the Philippines prefer men over 60. Now, when I'm talking about women in the Philippines, I'm talking about the women who date foreign men. It's not all Filipinos, but the ones who make a conscious effort, to date us, to marry us. It just seems that the prettiest and the sexiest are with older men. I got to thinking, now, first of all, let me say that this isn't something that's written in stone. This isn't the Bible on relationships over here. This is just something that I noticed. John, remember John, my buddy that passed away? Okay, he was 61 when he met his girlfriend. She was 26. She was nice looking, she was sexy, kept herself in shape. One of my tennis partners, he's in his 70s. His wife is 31 or 32. They've been together 10 years, so he was in his 60s when they met. She's a fitness fanatic, built like a brick shit house. I've got another friend here. Good morning, man. Butchak. He's 68, his wife's 27. And she's gorgeous. Good morning. I mean, she's really gorgeous. I mean, most of us over here, we have nice looking women, but I'm saying the guys who have the stunners, they're usually over 60. And I just want to talk about that today and why I think that is. One more, a friend of mine, Nick, he's originally from Romania, but he lives in Spain right now. And him and his girlfriend came to visit us here in St. Carlos City. And once again, stunner. And first I thought, well, maybe all these guys are white. Maybe that's the reason. But then I was in Bacala City. We were taking care of some business, and I'm eating breakfast at the hotel. And a guy comes up, he introduces himself. He's a black guy, black American. And he's, obviously in his early to mid 60s. Nice looking, dressed nice, real polite. And man, was the woman he with beautiful. So I said, let me talk about this. Because y'all don't realize something. Just like we talk about what type of woman that we prefer over here, young or older, province or city, slim or thick, educated, and she have a job, whatever. But we can be pretty shallow about it. Filipinos do the same thing. And they talk amongst themselves and they know really what they're looking for. Okay? And the number one thing that I figured out is the pension. The pension's big over here. Recently, I had a friend of mine. He was, he didn't have anybody, but the woman that showed attention to him, she was already with a foreigner who was, good morning, who was over 60. But he didn't have a pension. My buddy's got a pension. So she wants to leave her live-in partner that they have a child together. And she wants to get with my buddy because he's got a pension. And, Marilyn said that. She says because he's got a pension. And you always hear that pension. See, a pension is big in the Philippines. If you got a pension over here, not even with women, they cater everything around foreigners who have a pension when it comes to the retirement visas, when it comes to opening up a bank account, loans, or anything like that. If you got that lifetime pension, it goes a long way. But these women, they want that pension. So when they're talking amongst each other, they say, yeah, you know, it's okay to date a foreigner. Just make sure he's got that pension. It's way up there on the list. Now, people always push back and say, oh, women are the same all over the place. No, because your $2,000 and $3,000 per month pension won't bat an eye in the West. But over here, it puts you in a select class. And the prettiest women prefer a man with a pension. Okay? Just keep that in mind. This is just things that my perspective, what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. You know, a lot of us have nice looking women over here, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to throw Maryland back, but the real stunners, the ones that are going to make you look and risk getting in trouble with your woman, they're with a man over 60. The next thing the next reason I believe that they're so comfortable dating these men, because they don't skip a beat. It's like they're with somebody their own age. He's settled already. He's retired. Because one thing I want to remind you guys, and I learned this from Sess of Sess Travel Vlogs. She said, we don't want a long distance relationship. She said, Filipinos don't like long distance relationship. We want a man who can stay with us, who doesn't have to go back and forth. And of course, when you're retired, when you got a pension, and you're settled, you can do that. And you know, they're not going to jump from one woman to the next. But that's a big deal. There's no LDR that's involved. And that's a big deal. The next thing is, they tend to appreciate them more than younger men. See, hey, good morning, man, buntag. The older guys, they know what they've got. The younger guys, it's like, well, you know, if I can get her, just like I did when I came over here, I had a beautiful woman. But I said, well, hell, if I can get her, I can get somebody else, and end up screwing that up. Older men, like I said, they're settled. They've been around. They know what they want. They can appreciate a beautiful woman like that. They know how fortunate they are to be in the company of a woman like that. It doesn't matter what her education is. Doesn't matter what her profession is. And they also will take a lot more from the woman than a younger guy. And a lot of times, you know, these women, they can be difficult, like any other woman can. But the older men, it's more of a give and take with them. Because a lot of these older guys that I see over here with a younger Filipina, sometimes the Filipina has another boyfriend. But they play the game, you know, which is one of the reasons too. But I'll get to that later. But yeah, they appreciate the woman, man. And that's big over here, because a lot of women over here, they just don't feel appreciated. For whatever reason it is. I don't know. But that's a reason. And then, again, they play the game. See, when they come over here. There's a script, guys, that I tell y'all about, but y'all don't believe me. It is. And older guys, as you get older, you're willing to go along with the script. You're not asking too many questions. You don't want to rock the boat. Because remember, you know how fortunate you are to be in the company of this beautiful young lady. And we're in the third and fourth quarter of our life. And a lot of the petty things that probably used to annoy us or get on our nerves, they don't It don't bother us anymore. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that Filipinos with men over 60 years old make the best couples. I'm not saying that. Remember, some of these women, if the man can't get it up, she's going to get it on somewhere else. I'm not saying that they like old men. Because Jim of True, she said, hey, we don't want to be a caretaker. We don't want to be a caretaker, is what she said. What I'm saying is that men over 60 in decent shape seem to attract pretty women over here. And it's been right in my face all this time. I just never really paid it any attention. I mean, of all ages, guys. Because remember, when we talk about the type of Filipinos that we want and dating strategy and all of that, Filipinos do the same thing. They're just not as shallow as us. But they've got some things that are on their list. Okay? And that they talk amongst each other. And a lot of times that pension is number one. I mean, it's really, really a big deal over here. If you've got that. And I think that's the reason why a lot of these young, beautiful women settle. But they don't really settle, but they choose or they prefer men over 60. And can you blame them? They don't have time for a lot of games that these young guys play when we come over here. Because, man, we run through women over here, these young guys. They don't want that. They want somebody that's going to appreciate them. That's going to take good care of them. Because older men, they treat their women a whole lot better. They spoil them a whole lot more. And they basically give the woman the keys to the kingdom. See, they know how to play the game, and they're willing to play the game. Good morning, man. Bon tag. But that's just my take on it. Because I was in Bacolod, man, and it just hit me because, you know, at first I thought, well, maybe because they're white. All the guys I named, those first 4 instances, they were white. But then, I want to say his name was Dave. He's a business owner here in the Philippines. And he's a black guy. He introduced himself, man, he's real cordial, man, real, you know, professional. And he says, hey, you know, I'm just glad to see somebody that looks just like me, you know. And he just, you know, shook my hand. He said, I'm from Tampa Bay, Florida, blah, blah, blah. And he went to sit down, so I got up and went to get some pancakes. Man, I walked past the table and I was like, holy cow, look at what he's got. And it just came across my mind. It just seems like the prettiest women over here in the Philippines, they prefer a man over 60. And for those reasons that I gave you. It's not written in stone. So don't call me, don't put in my comments, oh, I'm 50 and I've got a stunner and blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. I'm not the Bible on relationships. This is something that I've noticed time and time again, even when I look back over my time in the Philippines over 13 years. It's a trend. And it's something that you're going to see when you get over here. Do they make the best couples? I'm not saying that. The Philippines like old men. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, guys, once again, is men over 60 with a pension who are still in great shape, a good shape. They seem to attract the pretty women over here. So thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If in America it's getting late, before you let your head hit the pillow, please find somebody to help. But if you're on one of them late grocery runs, beer runs, weed runs, just getting off second shift, you're on your lunch break, you see somebody in the street, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink, give them a few dollars. If you're in the Philippines, it's about 6:45 a.m. on a Saturday, beautiful Saturday morning. We had our electronic community pantry giveaway drawing last night and our 1,000 peso pandemic giveaway drawing last night. Had to do them both because Wednesday we were traveling and yesterday we were in Bacolod. We didn't have a chance to do it. And now the day goes by, I don't help somebody over here. Look at them beautiful tennis courts over here. That's the basketball courts normally. But what's happening is, guys, is over here. I'll show you the tennis club is there, but it's going under construction. If you look up here, you'll see they're putting a brand new roof over top. It's really going to be nice. So they've taken over here. Now the day goes by, I don't help somebody over here. No excuse not to help somebody over here. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free. I'll see you next time. Take a look at this. When this fountain is on, it's a sight, man. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful sight. And Alex from Living Abroad and his beautiful girlfriend Palm, they're here now. They're staying in the guest house. We're going to take them to Sapaway Island later today. Now remember, guys, this isn't written in stone. And most of us, yeah, we've got nice looking women. But the prettiest women, guys, trust me, they're with men over 60. And it's not by coincidence.